Okay. I think I got it. Oh. Okay, so hopefully y'all can see me. This is my first time I'm doing my Facebook Live via StreamYard. So everything says it's live. I see myself when I go over to Facebook and I see myself on here. So on the actual StreamYard app. So hopefully it's working. Oh, I think it is. I'm so excited. So this is new, obviously, and for me, and it's been a while since I've been here with you guys. I've got to work on the camera thing. Um, if you're here though, can you let me know if you can hear me? Because this is the audio is through the camera too. It's not my phone. I'm not using my phone right now. I've got my computer here, and then it's through the camera hooked up to StreamYard. It's so cool. But of course, it's new. So that being said, let's see here. So it's been a while since I've been on here. A lot's been going on, and I just really had to, and I know you guys, but I really needed to get on here and reconnect with my Facebook family on my business page. And let me, 1 second. My husband just texted me, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. So, anyways, he's bringing home dinner, and I need some grub. So, anyways, needed to reconnect. I've been working, obviously, and as well as I've been on Pinterest TV a lot. So, I wanted to talk about that for a second. So, I don't know if y'all are on Pinterest or even realize there was a Pinterest TV. Very similar to how Facebook here is. A lot of different creatives, so you can see people making there's a ton of stuff. But it is an app. You just download Pin TV, and it's live episodes, and you can watch those on replay. So I have been on there, Tattered Willows, just as um, you can follow me on Pinterest, TikTok. Everything's the Tattered Willows. But as I have down here, which is another cool thing with StreamYard, you should have gotten a request that you need to give StreamYard permission to post your name with your comments. So if you do comment, I'll see them, but I won't know who it's from unless you give StreamYard permission to do that. So again, if you see this, let me know what you think of this platform. I'm going to integrate another camera once I get this rigged up system that I have right now going, so that I can talk to you, because I like looking and like I'm talking to people, but sometimes it's hard to adjust for, like, okay, to see the project, you got to move stuff. But once I have my second camera hooked up, which will actually be my phone, which I just haven't gotten that far into it yet, I can have two things going. So like it'll be two screens. You'll see me on one, the project we're working on the other. So, but enough of that, you guys. I hope everybody's doing well and taking care of themselves. They're healthy, looking forward to spring and Easter. So I have what we have here. If you saw my post for this, that I wanted to do just a really simple upcycle like spring project. And I had all kinds of ideas. So I think I'm going to use, these are both from Dollar Tree. So they're $1.25 now. And this is just kind of like a rough looking, cut sign. And then this one has a hanger. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and cut the hanger off, but use this one since it's got a little more, I don't know. It's so hard to decide, y'all. Should I use this one that already has the hanger? Or should I use this one and just make a hanger on the back? You know what? I think I'm going to go with this one. I love the shape of it. That's a big part of it. Now, these stickers, as we all know, can sometimes be a pain. So, handy dandy trick here using a heat gun. Okay, so now I'm going to just scoot you down a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Hopefully, it's not so wobbly that it makes you sick. I might sit down. I don't normally sit when I do projects because I do better standing. Okay, but this way I can kind of lean down. Hopefully don't get my chest just all over the table. But see, it'll be nice when I get the other camera, because like right now you can just see my chest, but the project you can see, and I guess that's the most important part. But I like when I look up feeling like I'm talking to people and stuff. Heat gun, perfect for getting off these sticky labels without having to either gouge the wood or get everything off, but some of the particles. So the first thing we're going to do is I am going to paint this. I forgot to grab my little plate. I'm just going to wheel on over here, y'all. I guess that's a nice thing about sitting on my little saddle seat. This thing is very good for your back and stuff, but it's just kind of weird looking. So I'm going to paint the sign in light buttermilk. This is from Americana. And let's see here. Let's see. We'll just use this here real quick. And I'm not even going to worry about painting the back. So how's everybody been doing? Good. Again, if you jump on here, please say hi. Or if you end up seeing this on replay, let me know that. And where you're watching from. And of course, I appreciate if you like and share my page here on Facebook. So let's see. Let me try to bring you guys up to speed. I already told you that I've been on Pinterest a good amount. And we'll continue to do that. Actually, I did a live earlier. Y'all, this is the first time ever that I've done 2 lives in one day. Outside of like maybe I did a live but I stopped up or jumped on real quick to say hello, or like when I've been at a show, like doing a craft show, and I've popped on to say hello and like let you guys know what's going on. But that's about it. As far as doing 2 lives. So this is a first for me. And so that's pretty cool. All right. So we painted the sign. Again, this is Deco Art Americana. I love this color. Light buttermilk. It's just what it looks like. Just a nice soft cream color. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is I want to make a flower to put on here. And what we're going to use are biscuits. Not grandma's biscuits, not Pillsbury biscuits, but wood biscuits. Yeah, so if you don't know what those are, wood biscuits are used like in joinery, woodworking, and I'll be showing you one. They're kind of like a ovally egg shape sort of doodad. And when you'd use a router, we're not doing all that. We're using it for something else. But I used them for that because I did these geese. Anyways, I digress. And use a router and make like a slot. This is some good painter's tape. Y'all are going to see what I'm going to do with this here. I mean, there's a method for my madness, believe it or not. It's questionable, but there is a purpose that I'm sticking this all over myself. Okay. Anyway, so let me show you these. You can get like all different brands. This is Miles Craft. This is Ryobi. They're really not expensive. You can get them on, I don't think I have this on my Amazon store, but hey, it looks like somebody's on. Can you say hi and let me know if you can hear me? Can you hear me? That would be great. I see one eyeball and a thumbs up. But anyways, there's different sizes that you use. So this is the number 10. These are smaller, okay? But yeah, see, they really are called biscuits. I didn't make that up, okay? And this is the number 20, and they're bigger. So as the number gets bigger, these get bigger. I think they go down to an 8, but don't quote me on that. They might even go smaller than that. So these things are like, they take sawdust and add whatever to them, but they are compressed. So like what somebody would do is if this was a thick board and I needed to join it together, you'd take a router, make a slot, you put some wood glue in there, and you'd have the slot on the other piece of wood, and this helps join it together and makes that seam, if you will, stronger. So why they're called biscuits, that I can't answer. Outside of the picture on this one kind of reminds me of little kids, you know, the baby biscuits. What are those called? Those teething biscuits. Whatever. I don't know. But yes, it's good. Caitlin, thank you. Biscuit joint. Yep. But love it. So what we're going to do is I'm taking some of these biscuits and I am going to paint them and make a flower out of them. Get the idea? The shape is perfect, right? Just like a petal. And so let's see. Roughly, and I've done this with sunflowers before too, you guys. And I'm only going to paint one surface. But first I'm going to put it on here. And you could layer them so you have more depth to your flower, so you could do different shades. Okay, and one side, no, they're pretty much the same. So you see what we got going on here, and why I had the painter's tape. Now it makes sense, right? So that I don't have to hold these things and get even more paint on my hands, because Lord knows I get covered enough. So I'm going to put them on here. And here I'm going to use blush pink. Now, I wasn't really thinking about doing a double layer of flowers on here, but you know, I may change my mind. I just noticed an ambulance going down our street. I don't know. I think I just hit my mouse. So let me hit that. It's like, do you want to leave? And it's like, no, I don't want to go anywhere. All right. So I'm just going to get a brush, just a soft brush, doesn't have to be anything weird and crazy. And yeah, you can see on here the pattern. It's kind of like a hatch, you know, crisscross pattern. And you could see the number. Now we can sand this a little bit, but I'm going to tell you it's not really going to sand down. It doesn't bother me. By the time we put a little shading on here, it's not really going to show. Okay, can you guys see that in there a little bit? Sometimes it's hard with the bright light to see the pattern. But doesn't that look cute already just on the painter's tape? And we could take some of the small ones. Oh, I think that would be a good idea, don't you? Like this. For in between. Oh, I think that's a good idea. We're going to do that. Okay, so let's make a little pattern out of these. You know, you guys, I kind of feel like I'm rushing because that's one thing with Pinterest. Like you have to, when you submit to do a live on there, it's a totally different process, obviously, than Facebook is. But you request, well, they start you out at just 30 minutes, but then you know, the more you do and stuff, they give you the opportunity to do longer projects, I guess you could say. So, and I'm so used to being, you know, like on a timer, even if it's an hour, that I'm like all business, and it's like, oh, I can relax a little bit more here and talk with any of you that are on. So that's nice. So I'm going to do these small ones too, obviously. And I think what I might do is grab another color and do a little dry brushing right on here before I actually glue them to my little board here. Okay. Let's see. Let's move that little box of biscuits out of the way. Okay. So what do you think so far? You guys getting an idea? Actually, it's kind of cool because it does add a little bit of character, if you will. Should we go darker or lighter? I think that needs a little bit more paint. As I rolled away, I can see it didn't get quite all the way in the grooves. These are the Ryobi ones, and I can see that the grooves and all that would all like hold glue are a little deeper than these other ones and stuff, which are, I guess if we were really using these for a wood joining project, that would be beneficial. So let's do that. Oh, it looks like somebody else may have jumped on. Feel free to say hi. Just need to give StreamYard permission if you've never done that before to add your name. I would still see comments. I just wouldn't know who it's coming from. So there we go. Looks like I need another little bit here now that that's drying. Very good. I keep saying very good, very good. So there's that. And now I'm going to take a piece while these are drying, because we've got to have leaves, right? All right. Let's do some leaves on here. And same thing. I'm not going to lie to you. At first, when I was thinking about doing this particular project, I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll just like get some fabric and cut leaf shapes or take leaves off of like a floral pick. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. Why would I do that? These are perfect leaf shape, right? And again, it's like with all that like veining in there, so to speak. Like, we're just going to do that. This one, though, I think I'm only going to do the small ones. Or should I do one big one? Maybe 2 small and 1 big. All right. So I've got my greens here. And this is Americana. This is one of my favorite colors, light avocado. It's like not a boring green, but it's dark enough so that you get that greenish color without being like too light or whatnot. So again, just gonna paint these just like we did over here. So let's see what else is going on. My middle daughter, Hannah, well, my youngest daughter, my middle child, she's getting married in September. So we've been doing wedding planning and getting, you know, she's got a really good handle on all that. She almost doesn't need her mama for it, but she's amusing me and letting me help. I mean that with all the love in my heart. She knows that. She's a lot like me with a crazy sense of humor. And let's see what else is going on. So my birthday was just a few days ago, and I'm not telling you that other than for any reason other than to say that it was a really nice day. I worked, but then my kids came. My husband had to work until like he didn't get home until almost 9 because he works like this weird afternoon shift. And But the kids brought me crumble cookies, and my husband got me a Dairy Queen cake. So I'm sitting here before I jump on this live thinking, well, I haven't eaten dinner yet, and it's late, but I might have to go ahead and have either part of a cookie and maybe a little piece of the um, oh, you know what I just said there, the ice cream cake. Jiminy Christmas. All right. So what I'm doing here, I want to use this brush again to dry brush the lighter color of green. And if you're dry brushing, what that does, that kind of brings up the highlights and the raised area. It does the opposite of like when you like distress something or antique something. That's when you put like maybe a wax or an antiquing medium over the piece and then wipe it back, and that stays settled in all the creases and everything. Dry brushing is like we're going to highlight it. And so we're going to use, you need a dry brush when you do it. It's like stenciling. As far as like the dry brush, and you want to use like the stiffer white brush. And since I use that to paint the base coat on that, I'm essentially wiping out all the paint that I can on here. I didn't stick it in water. This one I can't really use for dry brushing. It's not really the appropriate brush for that. So I'll have to get a different one to do the brighter pink. So this is what I was thinking about doing on here, just to bring up and add a little extra color on there. And I don't feel like dealing with that plastic on the lid right now. So earlier I used way too much paint. That's a bad thing about not using the little spout. Waste not, want not. Yes, I'm that person. When you're dry brushing, just like stenciling, you really don't have to use much paint at all. And plus, I don't have a whole lot of surface area here that we're covering, so that's all good. Let's see. All right. And then you want to work that paint into your brush. And again, it's just like stenciling. You wipe off the excess and you want to use a light hand. It's better to start off light and add color than to do too heavy and not like it or have to repaint with the base coat. So when you're doing this, you kind of go against the grain. Now this kind of has grain or texture, if you will, going in pretty much every direction. So I'm just going to, essentially use my, go in one direction, the length of the biscuits. Okay. And then I'll explain why I'm doing a little darker there if you haven't figured it out already. Flowers tend to be darker in the middle, right? And the under layers are usually darker, but definitely the center. So I want a little more color in the middle. Okay. And I'm not really pressing hard. It may look like it or sound like it, but it's also just a feel. You want to get a feel for the amount of paint on your brush. That's why it's better to start off with very little paint in your brush and then build it than just to do too much at one time. Okay, so there's those. Very simple. Whoops. It's got the one brush. Kind of reminds me of palm trees, but isn't that pretty? Even just still stuck on that blue. And then for the green, I have this lighter one, and this is from Folk Art, and it's basil green. And it's a wonderful complement to the avocado. And I definitely used too much of the avocado paint. I didn't shake that good enough. But I'm going to use that same brush and put the color in, and then I'm going to wipe it back out. This is another cool thing. Like if you are stenciling or dry brushing and you're like, I've only got so many stencil brushes or so many of these like white natural fiber brushes, and you don't want to wash it because it's going to have to dry before you can use it again for dry brushing or stenciling. This is kind of, I call this, I'm sure other people do too, but I wash it with the paint I'm going to use. So like that had that dark paint, and you saw how I wiped it all out really fast, or really as much as I could on the color. Then I went in the new color I want to use, and I worked it into the bristles and then wipe it out again. And you do that several times until the only thing coming off of the brush is that second color you want to use. Obviously, it's going to work better for the most part if it's in the same color family or going from a light to a darker color. This was a dark to a lighter, but it's in the same color family. Okay, so same thing like we did with the petals for the flower. Ooh, that looks really nice. Okay. And this is just bringing up some of the lightness, and the dark is staying in the leaves, kind of like leaves in the biscuit, kind of like veins on a leaf. Okay, so there, we've got that. Now we can start putting this together. Now I'm going to just do a light sanding of this. Okay. Okay, and that's just, I didn't turn on my glue gun, so let me get this. All right, that's my handy dandy cordless battery operated Ryobi glue gun. I think that's in my Amazon store as well. Okay, so in the meantime, I'll tell you guys what we're going to do. So this is like, I don't know what this, it's almost like a jute, but it's a wire, and it's covered with this little bit of, it's like a floral wire. I got this at Dollar Tree too. This is going to be the stem for my flower. Okay. I grabbed two. Maybe we'll just make it interesting and kind of just twist these together. All right. Make it a little more interesting, I guess. Dimensional. I love taking things and just, you know, we have this, you know, board for $1.25. This was like $1. Actually, when I got these, they were still officially Dollar Tree, but where things were $1. They look like a tree branch. Okay. So I'm gonna just put this here like that. And then all I have here too is some different ribbons that we're going to use to, I don't know, we may not even use them, because I was thinking about putting Spanish moss down here for the base here. So we could, but I don't know. If you're watching and you have an opinion, let me know. Okay, I'll wait to glue that on once I have an idea of, let's go ahead and take these off. Because I do want this going above, gosh, that's sticky. So this will probably have to kind of be like that. I might need to make it shorter. That's what I'm trying to check out here. And I'm going to be putting something in the middle to cover the actual middle there. I feel like I should put, yeah, something more like that. I like that. And then we'll start with that, and then we'll put the smaller ones on top there. Let's see. I also, excuse my son who's on his game. Hopefully you guys can't hear him. So I'm going to drink more water. Ooh. Grab this here real quick, because I'll be wanting, ouch, be wanting that. I also have this glue. I love this glue, this art glitter glue. It works so good. A lot of times I'll use it. I'm just going to get started with it. I'll use this. It's kind of like E6000, but I love the nozzle on it. And it actually, shockingly, it adheres really fast. But I'll put a little bit, and then a lot of times what I'll do, if I like, hot glue is great, but there's some applications you got to be careful because, you know, when if it's going to be in a cold place, you probably don't want to use hot glue, simply because when it gets super cold, it's like a frozen pea and it could separate from whatever it is you're trying to get it stuck to. You know what I mean? All right. So what I'll do is, like, I'll use the other glue to really hold it, but just enough of the hot glue to get it into position. Does that make sense? And hold it while the other one dries. This stuff, though, it dries really good. It's really nice for when doing like small pieces of things. You know, like little eyes, maybe have wood eyes you're trying to glue onto something. And if you go to use hot glue on there, it's gonna burn you. The moss, yeah, that's what I was thinking too, just to kind of keep it. At first I thought, obviously, I might do the ribbon, but that one here, I put the darker end to the outside because I wasn't paying attention. So that's okay though. No big deal. I could always take my brush and lighten it if I really wanted to, but I'm really not worried about it. I got this stuff right in your all's way so you can't see. So please say hi and let me know where you're watching from if you're on here. Okay. The only way, though, I'll get to see anybody's name is if they give StreamYard permission to. Now, I put glue all the way on the back of that one, and that just wasn't necessary since it's sticking up there. Okay, now we'll do the second layer, you guys. And since my glue gun is heated all the way, let me turn that one before I press it down. So these you kind of want to alter. And so as you can see, you could do layers, as many layers of this as you want. You know what I can do here? Look at that. Work smarter, not harder, right, y'all? Okay, there we go. Put that there. And make it as dimensional as you want. This is really fun, like I said, with sunflowers. I mean, it'd be kind of hard to do like a rose, I guess, with this type of thing. I guess I got a little too glue happy, y'all. It's all good. Okay. Look how cute that is. Like, seriously, right? Okay. And no, we're obviously not done. Okay. But I'm going to get that tape out of the way. So what I was thinking about doing for the flowers, I have this little gear thing, putting this on here. And then I have this button that says handmade with love. It's a little wood button, and it rests right in the middle there. And it's going to help hide where we joined all that together. So just a little bit of glue. I don't want too much of this on here. I think I might put some of the art glitter glue. This stuff it works so good. And the reason I'm using this, like I said, that's kind of narrow, and to get that down without burning myself, difficult. Okay, now I'm going to put this on here, but I'm going to drop some hot glue in the middle there so it'll nest in there. Oh my gosh, look how stinking cute. I think I need a little bit more of the hot glue in there. Oops, no, right here. I see what I need to do. It's the worst thing, though, about hot glue is I call them your hot glue boogers or webs. There we go. Okay. Look at that. Is that not adorable? And we're not even done yet. So now we're going to glue this on here. And I'm going to put, now this here, I don't want like this whole stream of hot glue going down and showing. And if you can see there, since I have all my stuff in the way, I apologize for that. I was able to put that up underneath there. So that'll help hold it for the most part. And then where it's bent here, I can bend that wire and just do a little like bead of glue there. And then it'll pop up, and then I'm going to do it again down here at the bottom. Let me bend that a little more this way. Okay. And then put the glue. And yeah, it dripped down, but that it's going right below there. And remember too, I am going to go ahead and do moss. So that'll help cover this unfinished edge. I'm just holding this to give that little bit of pressure until that glue cools down and sets. So what are you guys thinking so far? Hey, Lori. Hi. How nice to see you. Thanks for hopping on. Okay, that one might be a little harder, but it's going to have the moss going over it, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. We're going to go ahead and get these leaves on. And I think we'll do like the bigger one here and a small one, and then the one small one up like this. Yeah? Looks good to me. And just get some glue on the back of that biscuit. Trying to grab some of those spiders, webs, glue boogers. So there's no wrong way for this to do this, you guys. It's just like whatever, as far as position, when it comes to being creative, there's no wrong way. Just outside of not doing it, that's the only wrong thing to be doing, right? Layer the largest. Oh, you mean like put a small one on top of the bigger one? Is that what you're suggesting, Caitlin? Well, I got it. Let's see if I can. Ooh, I don't know if I could pull it up unless I paint another one. I think I might be too late for that. I didn't see your comment in time before I got all glue happy. All right, so before I put the Spanish moss on, I got to do my requisite distressing. Okay, now this is cute. I like it. Real nice. What do you guys think? That is so cute. Wouldn't this be a great project to do with kids for Mother's Day? Spring. This is small enough it could sit up on a tiered tray. I think, trying to think what I'm going to use. Probably just cut a piece of jute for the back and for a hanger. And that way, if somebody wants to hang it, they can do that. All right. So what I have here, this is Distress Paint by Tim Holtz. This is soot, so it's black. You can use black paint. You can use brown paint. You can use whatever you want. But it's like dry brushing. But this is like a really thin paint. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to start down here, even though we're covering it with moss, and bring it up. And I'm focusing more on the edges. This is just going to give a little bit of a distressed look to my sign. Okay. I could have done this before, but I wanted to hit the leaves and stuff too. And I just like dry brushing, you want to start out with a light hand and then add as you see fit. I like a lot. I'll show you guys the project I did earlier on Pinterest before we disconnect. But what I like about this is yes, it grunges it up, which again, I personally love. And it just seems to like, and there's nothing wrong with the color. It's just personal taste. This is, you could do the same thing and say, I like the bright color, the brighter colors. And I want them to stand out. And that's fine. Then you're done because it looks just as lovely. It's the nice thing about, again, creating. You do what you like, what makes you happy. And if you're making it for a gift, you could make it now see, it went from pristine to kind of primitive, grunged up, right? And I'm really like doing that button because that was like really new. And the light makes it look even brighter. That when I look on my screen, see, I got a lot there, but that's all right. And I'm trying to get in there on the leaves, so it kind of gives that shadowy, more of a shadow look. I'm really shoving the brush in there, if that makes sense. What do you think? I'm going to turn the light off just for a second. See that? Is that not it? I loved the effect of putting those two wires together. Isn't it cute? It's just so simple. So very simple. Now let's get the moss. Now, once you put the moss on, if you really wanted to add a few sprigs of dried, I do have some Sweet Annie over there, but she's kind of packed away. It smells really good. The Spanish moss. Super messy. I'm going to use my scissors and just cut a chunk off. Feels like there's a little bit of twig right in there. Oops. Did I do that? All right, so I'm just going to fluff this out. And I like it to look crazy. Some people will like kind of roll it in their hands and stuff to calm it down. Not me. The crazier, the better. Put a good dollop of hot glue there so that this sticks. And you can put as much or as little as you want. Oh my gosh, you guys. I love this. Ow! Note, do not stick your hand right on top where you have the glue. That hurt. I'm not going to lie. At least, you know, I'm proud of myself because I managed to not say a bad word. And usually the bad word is directed at the fact that I did something stupid, more so than that it hurts. Let's put a little bit of those little pieces on there. Kind of like when you salt your fries and then you shake them to get the excess off. You got to make sure there's enough on there, right, at first. Is that not adorable? So see, if it was sitting on a tiered tray, it would just look cute. So we're going to make a real quick tie. And I had some different ribbons, but you know what? I think I'm just going to go with jute, right? A little piece of jute on the back. I'm not going to make it real high. We'll just, I mean, I could put like a sawtooth hanger on there, but I don't think this is something that somebody would like blatantly hang on their wall. I mean, maybe they would. Thanks, Lori. I'm just going to make a little knot here so it gives something for the glue, so it can rest into the glue dollop. Yeah, we'll just make it a little bit. So if somebody did want to hang it, they could. So like that. Let me move my mess. My goodness. Okay, so let's get some. I like to do a big ball of glue when I put like hangers and stuff on the back. Like if this was something really heavy, I would like probably either do like a sawtooth hanger or like the official picture hanger type things, you know, or nail. If I did use jute, I'd nail it if I was worried about the weight, but I'm not worried about that. Okay. And then I always like to put just a little extra on top for that little something something. There we go. All right. I just think this is adorable. I really, really do. Show me some. Woohoo! If you like it. I know StreamYard has some type of things at the bottom or something like funny faces or whatever. Um, but if somebody finds it, Caitlin or Lori, hit it so I could see if it comes up on my screen, if I can see it, like a smiley face or laughing or something like that. It's usually like at the bottom of your screen where the scrolling is going. If you hover, it'll suddenly pop up. So I'm going to show you guys real quick what I made on my Pinterest live. This has got quite a few glue boogers on it. Drives me nuts. Okay, so I did a book stack. And that just books that I got from, I'm going to move you guys up a little bit so I can see you, see myself. Isn't that cute? Just books that I got from Dollar Tree for hardback, painted them, did a little bit of a script rubber stamp in black on it. And then use that same dry brush here that I used on here. You can see I really like, so this is heavily distressed. Some jute twine, a couple metal embellishments, a key, the heart, and I did a wax seal with TTW there for the tattered willows, you know, where you melt it and pour it on there, and have my little metal thing that I pressed down in there. Oh, okay, I see hearts up there now. That's cool. Was that on StreamYard that you were able to do the hearts and the finger, or did it come up from the bottom, or was that like the typical Facebook hearts? I'm just curious as I learn. So I'm gonna start doing, at least on Saturdays, I was thinking doing like a coffee talk or something on Saturday mornings. Just whether be primarily with some crafting, and it might just be talking. Of course, if I'm crafting, I'm talking, so I might as well craft if I'm going to be talking. So I'll be sending out an invite, a notification for that, for if you, I'm thinking like, hey, we don't want to get started too early. Like, oh, if I could sleep in a little bit. So probably like 10 or so. Some of you might be on your second cup of coffee. But here, I want to try this. So comments. Oop. Let's see. Isn't that cool? So yeah, I can click on the comments so people can see it. Let's see. I like it. Lori Kennedy. It's so fun. It's like a new toy. Oh, I can't wait to get it with, get my other camera hooked up. So like I could have the one and then the other one just pointed down, and then disconnect it when I'm done with the project. So this is actually like one of those, it's a Logitech like webcam that's plugged into my computer, and it's actually got the microphone built in. So if I use my phone, I either got to mute this or mute my phone, but I'll figure that out. But I got this far, so I'm actually kind of proud of myself for that. So everybody, thanks for being here. I am so glad. And if you end up watching this later on replay, love it if you let me know that you were here and saw this. It takes so little to amuse me. Biscuit joint. You know me, I'll sit here all day just playing with that because I'm a nut job. But hey, you got to have fun, right? But yeah, please follow me on Pinterest as well, the Tattered Willows, and TikTok. I don't have a whole lot going on TikTok, but I'm working on it. But like I said, I knew I needed to come back here and really show my Facebook family some love. But I do have another Pinterest live tomorrow night. I think it's at 6 or 6:30. So did I say Facebook? Pinterest. So if you don't have the Pinterest TV app downloaded, go ahead and do that. And I'll be back here on Saturday morning on Facebook. Okay. And StreamYard, because I've got a new toy. It's really just an app, but it's only a desktop app. So that's why I have to have my computer. Everybody have a great day. Thanks again for joining me for this cute, adorable, honestly, I think all said and done, this project is maybe got $3 of materials in it. And it's just stinking adorable, right? Oh. Okay, everybody have a great night. Thanks so much for being here. Take care of yourself and see you again soon. Bye-bye.